afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, gods and goddesses, kings and queens, thugs, thugettes, all of you, pastors, preachers, first ladies. Welcome to the Debra Show. I'm Debra Faye. And today, I got my mama with me today. Mama Dukes. We love us some LeKeytha. Back to my roots. Mama, you look at first, let me tell them. Okay, check this out. This ain't just a t-shirt. Okay? This ain't just ain't nothing she do just because she puts so much love in everything that she does for her family and for community. We shoot, girl, we wear this all around the world. Huh.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna let my mama come on, and I'm gonna be calling her mama throughout this interview. Uh, y'all, y'all figure it out in a minute why we call her mama. Okay, come on, mama, tell us something about you.
Hello, everyone. My name is LeKeytha Dukes. I am the owner of Back to My Roots Clothing, located in 4321 Southeast 33rd. I have been the owner and operator for 8 years, and I am very grateful for the position God has placed me
Amen.
in. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. And you know, you're more than that. You're an activist. You girl, what mama, what you not? You everything. We know about all that. She's your humility. My mama's very humble and everything. Um, so y'all know that she's humble. So that's why she real quiet over there. But mama, we're gonna need you to open up, share with us just a little bit. Your your look at here. They said James Brown was the hardest working you know musician in music. And they say Samuel Jackson is one of the hardest working actors in well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce y'all to one of the hardest working women, mama, everything in life, in our lives here in Oklahoma City. All of Oklahoma City. I mean, Dallas, y'all might know her. She been down there. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, mama, you was selected to be on a magazine selected you for something as a black business.
Yes, I was one of, I believe it was 10 Black owned businesses in the United States that was selected in New York Magazine. Um,
Did y'all hear her like say that like it wasn't nothing in the United States?
for New York Magazine, they ran across my page and they liked what they saw and put me in the magazine along with some other Black owned businesses in the United States. So
And they just so happened
just so happened to see.
to run it,
Hello,
mama. You know
virtually.
good and doggone well, girl, ain't no coincidences. You better go on and give that glory and that praise to God, hallelujah, and
Yes,
to the
yes,
ancestors, and cause you work hard for it. It's due.
yes.
It's due. You've been work, mama. How long you been in this business? How long you been repping BTMR?
I have been in business for 8 years. April 1st made 8 years that I've been in business.
Woo!
Yes.
Yes. And when you first decided to start out, what was you doing? I mean, how did all this, girl, come on, give us the skinny.
Okay. So when I first cut my relaxer off, it was the time where everybody was going natural. Like going natural was the thing at the time for me.
Yeah.
And so I decided I'm gonna cut my hair off. And then I said, well, I'm gonna make a t-shirt. And I went from cutting off my relaxer to making a t-shirt, which is the design that's on your hair wrap. That was the very first design, and then from there, I realized that it was so much more deeper than just natural hair.
Yeah.
We had a lot of growing to do within ourselves in the Black community, and so I felt the need to start putting different quotes on shirts to
Mhm,
uplift us, to show us that we are loved, we
mhm.
are visible. We don't even have to open our mouths, and our shirt can say just what we needed to say to the people that need to see it.
The
So,
power of us. Today I am wearing a back to my roots. This is my favorite one out of all the
it
ones.
sure is.
The, the power of us. Look here, y'all. Shoot, I'm talking about, yeah, the power of us. And
How
it's,
long have you had this shirt?
woo, I be trying to get them when they first come off the press. And if you can tell me when you first put this shirt, look at here, the back to my roots that you have in the shirt, girl,
Uh-huh.
it done wore out.
Yeah. I'm sure your shirt is at least 3 years old, if not longer than that. I'm thinking maybe four,
Mm, the name done wore out in the back.
but it still looks good.
You can barely see where it say back to my roots in the back of the shirt. Yeah. And and my head wrap, this is almost one of your newest latest designs,
Hmm.
scarves. Did it come out during the pandemic?
Right before. It
Right
was right
before.
before. Hmm.
Hmm. And I do have a face mask with back to my roots cap. I do, but I don't do my shows but I'm back to my roots down, baby.
You are, and we appreciate you. We really do.
Like I said, wear it around the world now. But you know what, Mama? Your mother, your work ethics. When we talk about the roots of love, you know, d- your mama. Tell us a little bit about your mother and her work ethics and or your
Oh,
what
okay.
makes you work so doggone hard, girl?
Let me tell you. So, my parents,
Yes.
my dad passed away in February. God rest his soul.
Oh yeah.
He was the worker of our family. My
Wow.
mom, he worked outside of the house, of course, the breadwinner. But my mom,
Hmm.
she was a housewife. Well, by the time I was born, she had five kids. I'm the youngest.
Hmm.
By the time I was born, she had a accident at one of her jobs,
Hmm.
and it messed up her hands.
Hmm.
So she quit working and she did all of the work at home. But
Hmm.
she was also, I don't want to call her a hustler because that is not a term for my mama, but she did hair out of our house for as long as I can remember.
She was a
So
hustler. Mama was a hustler. Go on and tell it, girl. Mama was a hustler.
she did pressing curls and Jerry curls all of my life.
Hmm.
Up until maybe 10 years ago when her hands wouldn't allow her to do it, but grinding. We had so many people coming in and out of our doors. And then not only did she do hair, she
Hmm.
used to make meals. We stayed
Hmm.
out in the country, but we had a lot of friends and their parents and their cousins, and people would come knock on the side door and they want to either get a burger or some chicken or something. So she made a way to make sure that her family was taken care of. My dad made a way to make sure that we had everything that we needed, and mom was just there to fill in with the extras. So
Wow, wow. See, that's remarkable because in the 60s and 70s and things like that, having a complete unit, a mother and a father, because welfare was trying to set its way up to try to take the
Mhm.
man out of the house, you
Yes.
know, and separate the family. Now that's what we call that good old fashioned sticky love.
Yes. Yes. They were married for 51 years.
That's what
51.
the
Yes.
power of us, baby. This
Yes.
what we got going on today, where couples they go together longer than they can stay married when they finally decide to
When
get.
they finally decide to go. Yeah.
Then they decide, you know what? I'm not.
Amen.
50 girl. See, that's what I'm talking about. You got these jewels. That's why we wanted to talk about the roots of love with you. See, mama was a hustler. She wasn't gonna let daddy do it all. She wasn't gonna let daddy do it all by himself.
No.
You know, so when we talk about the man being the provider and the protector, girl, come on. Everybody knew your daddy.
They would see him at every fashion show. I swear he was there. And if he could have been at this last one, he would have been too.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
he stopped him from doing as much as he wanted to, but I mean, he was a prime example of what it is to be a man and to hold your family up. He was the root
mhm,
to our family.
yes,
And now that he's no longer here, we have to fill in and be those little extra vines that are
yeah,
connected to that root so that we can continue to grow.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So let me ask you something. So what was it like in your home around dinner time? Did y'all go into y'all little separate rooms and eat, or
oh, no, no,
what
no.
had happened?
Oh, mom cooked dinner almost every single day. We had a meal. Um, she would once she got finished cooking, she's calling kids, "Hey, it's time to eat." We all come in, sit at the dinner table.
What?
Somebody,
A, a dinner table? You look here. Hey, mama, you 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 coloreds had a dinner.
yeah, we had a dinner table.
I told everybody this was gonna be a good vibe. You coloreds, because what was going on with your family during that time? We still had, was integration in full effect yet, or they, because your parents lived through segregation?
Yeah, I was born 1980,
Okay.
so I come along right when it was trying to.
Yeah. Right when Oklahoma was finally giving in to the federal command mandate of integration. So that's why I'm using, because this language is not meant to be an insult to my mom.
Yeah,
It's really, it, you coloreds had a dinner table,
dinner table, yes.
and y'all ate at that dinner
We
table
ate at that dinner table.
as a family.
And then sometimes my mama would cook liver and onions, and I don't eat liver and onions.
Mhm.
And she tried to trick me one day and tell me it was steak. I stayed at the dinner table a little longer than usual that day.
You mean she didn't say, okay, go to your room?
No, you gonna eat that food until. But you know what? She did actually let me get up, but I did not eat that. That's just not.
How long did you sit at the table before she said, get up?
I know it was a good while. It was a good while. Not too long, but long enough for me to be like, can I get
and and when daddy would finally come home, what was their relationship like?
love? I tell people so often growing up, I didn't experience my parents arguing and bickering and fussing in front of each other. I mean, common sense says they had arguments. I mean, that's every relationship.
Right.
But I can honestly say, growing up, they had to do it behind closed doors because I never saw my parents arguing to the fact where I'm scared for either one of them,
Right.
So
Yeah. See, girl, not only did you coloreds have a dinner table, y'all were almost like the Huxtables.
I feel like we were growing up. I used to, and I really used to feel like we were rich until
Mhm,
the eighth grade. My
mhm,
dad got laid off.
mhm.
And that was a shocker to me. Like, oh, we don't have as much money as I thought we did because every time I asked for something, I got it. I mean, and then he finally hit in the eighth grade. He went from making really nice money to driving a popsicle truck
Uh-huh.
and a taxi cab to make sure that his family still had everything they needed. So,
Woo.
so yeah.
So yeah, when they talk about the violence and when they talk about black men ain't shit,
Mhm.
and you what how do you feel about that? Come on, mama. Come
I
on.
always have to tell people, you know how those kind of labels like black people ain't this, we don't do that, we don't do this. From what I've experienced in my life,
Mhm.
black people are amazing.
Yes.
Black dads are amazing. Black uncles are great.
Yeah.
Um, Black cousins love on me when I feel like I ain't got nobody to love on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many good things about us that we don't talk about enough.
Yeah. The roots.
The roots.
The roots.
And I push for love. I push for people to see who we are without
Yeah.
all of the stereotypes.
Right. And that you do so well. You know, I I ain't never heard you even I ain't never seen you get mad.
You don't want to.
Okay. 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 Well, then we're gonna keep that under wraps. We don't want to see you get mad. Ever, never, ever. Don't get mad,
Never,
mama. Okay.
never.
Put it on a t-shirt. You know, express it, we'll buy it. And you have coming from that background. See, we would say that that's good upbringing.
Yes, yes.
See, that is solid. What was your parents' attitudes about education and things of that nature?
They never really pushed college to us,
Mm-hmm.
which to me was odd because these days you see a lot of people make sure you go to college, go to college, go to college. My parents didn't push college. They said just make sure you make yourself and make sure you keep a job.
Mm-hmm.
But in these days, I'm pushing my children to be entrepreneurs. And I know everybody's not going to be an entrepreneur, but
Right.
at the
Right.
same time, they have grown up. My youngest, I've been in business 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
My years old. So all he's ever seen or known, besides me working for the schools, is mama pushing t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts his first job on Monday. And I know it's because of what he saw in me. He'll be working for my brother. All he'll be doing is pulling t-shirts. A little simple job, but the fact that he's starting now and he
Yes.
was willing, he asked for it.
Yes.
So it just goes to show if we start him out now, just imagine he's 8 now.
Right.
Imagine him at 18 years old
Mm-hmm.
with all of this knowledge just
Exactly.
being under my wing.
So we're
So
talking about you already are instilling in your children generational wealth.
yes, yes.
See, that's what you're doing right now that a lot of us because I didn't get it from mine. You know, I came from I came from a broken home, and my mother ended up having to be the glue. And I commend my stepfather, who came along and did all these different odd jobs and stuff outside of the home to help take care of somebody else's children,
Mhm.
uh, and to give us at least the appearance of a solid unit. you know. Now I got to see I was this opposite. I got to see them fuss, fight. My mama chasing my stepfather outside in his boxing drawers around the house, and you know, it was. But wait a minute, it was very comical. You know, they were very comical. Okay, uh, they were. He renamed my mother Miss Honey after she went through a divorce with my father. So you see, I love listening to your stories about your family, about mom, about dad, and and all that love, you know. And you even thinking that, since you was always getting everything that you wanted when you asked for it, y'all was rich, and you were. The
Yes.
thing is, when you think about it, you were very rich.
Yes, and finances had nothing to do with it.
Yes, yes. Them roots that of love that you were born and bred from, honey, the water, the nurturing, wasn't no withering. Daddy said, okay, so such. All right, then to keep the roots watered, he said, I'll just work outside the home and da da da. And then mama said, okay, daddy, while you doing that, see, it's the recognition of roles.
Yes, yes.
See, it's the recognition of roles. Did you ever hear mama say anything to daddy about that's your job? You supposed to do
Oh,
this?
oh no. Great, great teamwork. I saw great teamwork when it came to them.
Yes, between a man and a woman, not just a black man. And see, we we really wasn't, you didn't focus on like, okay, so this is how a black man and a black, it was you, they were just mama and daddy.
Hmm. Yeah.
And yet they provided you with the example of how a successful couple can really work together,
Hmm. Yeah.
knowing
Yeah.
each other's limits, knowing their roles. They were putting all that magic in you, but we call magic, it ain't magic, it's just that, and then I'm looking at what's behind you, hanging on, because you're at work. Everybody, this hustler, she at work right now.
Yeah, yeah. And I've been thinking, is a customer gonna come in here while I'm on this interview? They're
And
gonna be
girl,
on
look,
the interview.
and it's gonna be all right, because we'll call that a commercial break.
Yeah.
Girl, we are not here today to stop your flow. You know, you, if a customer come in, girl, you get right on up and you just handle your business, and I'll keep everybody else entertained because I'm a clown. Um, and while you do that, and if you like, you can point out some things behind you, girl. Come on, give us some plugs, get some garments, and show them out, put them up to the computer screen.
You said,
Yeah, mama, I want to see that great. Oh, yeah, get up, girl. Get up. Go on and get up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, take down that gray long. Yeah, girl. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
this is actually an olive colored back to my
Woo.
roots dress.
Wow. I'm coming
Yeah.
to get that.
Yes, ma'am. And
Mm-hmm.
then we have the crop tops.
Oh, you gotta have a kind of skinny waistline. You
Or
know,
you gotta just or you just gotta have a tank top that you slide under it and then you cover up your belly and you ain't gotta worry about it.
okay, okay. Thank you for that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Then we have this crop top set.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, mama, show one of my favorite things is the one that looked like a tutu. Where you had the
I don't
you sold you
have
sold
it
out.
in here. I know what you're talking about.
Oh, I love that. I want one.
And here is our our latest edition. We
Uh-huh.
have these
Where's the
several.
one for the men? You got some in there. I saw the design for the men. See, that what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, see. Yeah. I need to get my grandson one of those and send it to him in Dallas.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And I like the one that you're wearing today, that black and that gray faded in there. You don't you have some short sets?
Freezing.
That don't worry about it. It'll unfreeze when it wants to.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Don't you have any short sets? There you are. See, that's what I'm saying, girl. Don't worry about it freezing. We used to it. Technology. It ain't gonna stop nothing. With this is a good vibe interview today. We dealing with all glitches. Okay. We dealing with whatever coming our way. But don't you have some short sets?
Yes, I have some more coming in. They'll actually be in tomorrow. What I have today is just this one. It's a crop top set,
Ooh.
and then there's the shorts that go to it.
Okay, mama. Now for us big girls, uh, I'm gonna need you
I'll be
to
looking.
I'm gonna need you to make my shorts a little longer.
Okay, okay.
Oh, my dukes, I can't be having my dukes hanging out like that. I need
Okay, I
so
got you.
just so, like what do we call these crop pants? That kind of
Hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
I'm putting in my request right now. Uh, and your brand. I mean, Mama, where do you get your ideas?
Everyday life situations.
Okay.
Um, I can be walking down the street and I'll see something, or I can be sitting at a restaurant and I might hear somebody talking about something that might trigger
Mhm.
something else that triggers something else that makes me put it on a shirt. So many different things
Wow.
come into play.
Yes, yes, yes. See, I told you, you're a hustler. You're a hustler. You look, you be ear hustling.
Yes. Yes, that's me.
You know what I'm saying? Well, what we say?
Mama.
Yeah, you get it. Look, I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. That's that's you, girl, and that's how some. How do you feel though sometimes when you're at like these different uh venues and you set up everything and then you don't sell but maybe one or two something, but it costs you more than that just to be there? How do you maintain your um positivity? How do you work through that?
If I go to an event and say I don't sell anything, I always look at it as there was still exposure. These people might not purchase today. I might have paid $150 for this booth
Mhm.
and I only sold one shirt for $25. I'm out of $125. But if I don't think of it as I'm out of $125, but I think of it as more of these people that walked by and picked up a card, or they visually saw Back to My Roots,
Mhm.
one day they'll purchase.
Yeah.
So I can't worry about them not purchasing today. I can't worry about the money that was lost because it will be returned to me. And I
Yeah.
just keep pushing for the next event, for the next time my doors are open. I know that God will provide for me no matter where I go, no matter what I do.
Yeah, yeah. Because you're sending a message back to my roots, you
Mhm,
know.
mhm.
And that's why we here in Oklahoma City and in other states, because people be sending you pictures where they
Yeah,
done seen a BTMR sightings.
yeah. That would be a good name for it. There's people snapping pictures of people they don't even know, saying, I just saw this person at a restaurant. I saw this person on the beach. And I absolutely love it though,
Yeah.
because it just goes to show that the hard work that I'm putting in, it is actually being able to see it
Yeah.
makes me feel good.
Right. I mean, and how do you feel? Heck, because half of Oklahoma City, it's common. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
how do
it
you
is.
I was in Walmart and I
Mm.
had on one of my uh, be
Hoodies.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I saw this guy come through the door, didn't know him from Adam. And when we immediately saw each other, there was that connection. He looked at me, I looked at him. We smiled. I nodded. He nodded. And he walked on past me and I walked. But it's that,
That's one of the greatest feelings ever.
yeah,
And like to for people to acknowledge each other all because of a shirt lets me know that it's so much deeper than just this shirt.
yeah,
And that makes me feel good. Like every time somebody tells me, I saw somebody in Walmart or I was at this place and we just waved or we threw the peace sign or I mean, it really fills me up because it lets me know this one simple shirt is giving people positivity. And
yes,
even strangers, people they've never seen in their lives, that connection makes them feel good about knowing each other and knowing what the shirt represents.
yeah, yeah. I bring this up often that when black women, when we tend to see each other out in public, we brothers, they acknowledge each other. They got that, that head
Mhm.
nod, and yeah, yeah. But we as black women, we tend to not acknowledge each other. However, now if I see a black woman, she got on BTMR and she see mine, girl, it's like you're bridging that, that gap, that
Mhm.
you're bringing us back together, that even black women will look at each other and go, hey girl, I see
Yes.
you got on your, and hey girl, you get your, when did you, we will actually talk,
Mhm. Mhm.
you
Yep.
know, and that's another wonderful, magical, see, you take that I'm possible. Change that impossible to I'm
Yes.
possible. See, having a communication, showing love to each other, whether we're strangers or not, but we're brought together just because Mama Dukes is a hustler. Yeah, come on. And everybody that I've ever met that owns something from BTMR, back to my roots, we call you Mama Dukes. Everybody's like, you get that? Yeah, Mama Duke. Was you at Ice Event Center? Then we try to figure out where was
You
she when
get
you got
it.
yours.
Actually slowed down a little bit on my traveling and doing different pop-up shops, and I feel like it's because I have a store. I
Yeah,
have my business hours. I'm here
yeah,
every day just about. I'm not here a couple of days out of the week, and I just sometimes I'd much rather go to a pop-up shop and support those businesses, like businesses,
right,
other businesses supported me to get me into the space that I'm in today.
right.
So I just feel like the give back is so much more important than receiving,
Yeah,
because God is going to give you what you need, but you just keep giving and doing what you're supposed to do,
right.
and it will come.
So passion. Where you at when it comes to passion, being part of the root of what it is you do?
My passion for not only my brand, but for children.
Yeah.
Um, my passion is really, really for children. Like when I started, when I started doing back to my roots, I started because I used to do hair, and yeah, some people don't know that. And I started. I would offer a free t-shirt with your hair, with your hairstyle. And then it finally just got so like I was offering too many shirts and not having enough time to do hair
Uh-huh.
that I just said, okay, buy her. Let me work on shirts. But my passion for hair rolled over into me at the schools. I worked for Oklahoma City Public Schools for 12 years. This year I resigned and I am full-time entrepreneur, thank God.
Hey,
But my
congratulations.
thank you. My thing was we had so many little girls in the school system who would come in, either mom didn't have time, wasn't capable, didn't care,
Mhm.
or wasn't a priority. And some of our babies would come to school and their hair was not combed. And I couldn't keep letting them walk in because I know their self-esteem was not where it needed to be because of hair.
Right,
And as a grown woman, if my hair is not combed, I don't feel my greatest. So imagine a 6 year old
right.
hair not being combed.
Mhm.
And all of her friends' hair is combed, and the boys are laughing because their hair is not combed. And I couldn't keep doing it knowing that I had the capability to help.
Right.
And I just started pulling little girls to the side and doing their hair. And what happened from that is I would notice the parents would pick it up. And then the parents would start combing the daughter's hair
Yeah.
because they saw somebody else took the time out to
Right.
make sure that their daughter was taken care of. And it trickled it back into mom to get back on track. And it's never been to try to embarrass a mom to make her feel less than because we all struggle.
Yeah.
We're all going through something. And
Mhm.
if somebody is willing to help because that's what they love to do,
Mhm.
I mean, accept it and get back on track if you can.
Yes, yes. See now, and that is what we say, uh, matriarchs. Everybody usually say we need some of them old time sisters. We need them sisters like from back in the day. Well, because of what was instilled in you unknowingly. I mean, did you and your mom have conversations where she would say this is what a woman should do, or did she just live it out by example?
She lived it. She didn't have to say a word. She lived it.
Mhm.
Like she was so good when I was growing up in the mornings when I got ready to go to school. By the time I would get out of the shower, my bed would be made. So she really lived it and she just showed us
Yeah.
what it's like to be a mother,
Mhm.
a friend, a
Mhm.
provider, a
Mhm.
listener, a
Mhm.
caregiver,
Yeah.
everything. My mom is everything.
Ev-
Like my mom is really everything.
Everything.
I love her so much.
Wow. And to see her administer that love to daddy, um had to be awesome. Because a lot of children don't get to witness affection
Right,
between their parents.
right. I got to see my parents kiss. I got to see my parents hug, and yeah, yeah. And one day I'll be kissing and hugging somebody too.
And now you are a mother,
Yes.
and how many cheering you get?
I have 3 boys and I have a grandson.
Wow. When we gonna get some girls?
We waiting on grands now because I'm done with babies, but hopefully, um, in about 10 years from now, we're not rushing.
You're not running from the being called grandma. You just want it to be with the right female and
Yes.
everything. So with all of that, and you all you got is boys, do you think that because of the type of mother that you are, that you're setting a bar for them boys to be, when they start trying to look for a little Susie honey,
My son, actually, my son's a girlfriend right now. My oldest son's girlfriend.
Mhm.
In a lot of ways, she reminds me of me with
See?
the no nonsense factor. And sometimes I'm like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
what did he do? Like he don't.
He went looking for his mama.
She likes the same kind of music I like. Sometimes I can hear her talking to him, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this girl sound like me. Is she mine? You know?
That's what girls look for their fathers
Mhm.
and boys look for their mothers.
That's
Uh,
true.
and in today's, you know, chaotic world, it is so that's challenging.
Hmm.
I try to, because me and you, we try to be very, we don't try, we attempt to be very, because to try is to already admit failure. Um, we attempt to be careful with our words because we know those words can take on a whole life, of their own. Um, and I know the boys love you because they love their mama. How you going really? They inspecting every man that look at their mama. Girl, we talking about the roots of love.
And I actually I've caught myself dating a couple of people before, but I've never introduced them to my children because I feel like if if it don't work, I don't want to keep introducing people to my kids, and that's a waste of everybody's time.
Mhm,
And so I just feel like while I'm dating,
mhm,
um, my kids don't need to be involved at all until
mhm,
we are so sure that we're going to be together
uh-huh.
that that's really the only way. I just don't want to I don't feel like children need to really be involved in that. It's because I know who my children are. I can explain it to my mate. If
Mhm,
he doesn't trust or understand,
mhm.
then there's no reason to.
Continue that relationship.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Because if you can't deal with what I'm running past you because of my children and my accountability to my children, then oh well, as they say, it's like friendship is always like the alternative resolution to, since we can't be this and that, we just be friends. How many of us have them? Friends. Wait a minute, mama. What Biz Marquis say? Uh, and you say he just a friend. And you say, oh baby, you got what I need. But anyway, so now before we fashion shows,
Mhm.
when was your first fashion show? Can you remember?
My very first fashion show was February, I want to say 23rd. I'm not sure, but it was
Mhm.
2015 at the Paramount Studios. I mean Paramount something downtown.
Uh-huh.
I had it there for 2 years,
How did you
and
get your models?
I did a casting call, a
Wow.
model casting call,
Uh-huh.
and the very first model casting call, I probably ended up taking all of the models because we didn't have many that came out to audition. We may have not taken just a few,
Mhm.
but ever since then, we've had quite a few come out and audition. Actually, this last year,
Uh-huh.
um, they counted close to 100, which
Ooh.
was amazing for us. And I wasn't able to be there due to COVID. I didn't have COVID, but I was around somebody with this, so I quarantined for 14 days. So
Mhm.
I actually missed my very first audition for the show. But I have a team and the team picked the models this time. So,
And the models that you have, I mean, when we're still dealing with the roots of love, even in this whole, this is all about, because you are so loved in the community. Yeah. The models that you have been with you for how long? We talking about, oof.
I have veteran models that have been with me since the start, and then a couple of more have been with me maybe like a year or two after. So
Right.
I got models that have been with me for 8 years. I have a couple that have been with me for 7, and then a few more for 6.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And another, of course, we have to bring in, uh, you do a lot of your things at ICE.
yeah.
Where, how did you meet, as, because I mean, you're always out in the community, but how did you meet Mark Fleming of ICE Event Center Bar and Grill?
It was during the time that they were doing 3 times dope poetry.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and someone reached out to me, said, "Hey, we heard about you having T-shirts and wanted to see if you wanted to be 3 of the vendors that we have set up for this event." I
Mhm.
went and set up and never stopped.
Yeah, because that's where I met you,
hmm
just to let the audience know.
Ice is home. Ice is home for me.
I remember coming on a dope poetry night, that one of them nights, and and you were right there by the door. You know how you always tucking yourself in the corner in the booth in the back in the dark.
Ooh, you don't know my life. Ah,
I remember, I remember coming in the door, and I was gonna keep walking, but my peripheral said,
mhm.
"Who is this in the back in the booth in the corner in the dark?"
Remember,
Turned around, and it was you. And I
it's
said,
me.
"Let me see what you guys." I said, what you?"
Yeah.
And the first thing you did, you came from behind that table, and you hugged me. You ain't know me. Look, you don't know nothing about my life. Uh, you came from behind the booth and just hugged me.
Oh,
I hadn't bought a thing yet. And you came from behind that booth, mama, and you hugged me. And then you started showing me the things that you had to offer.
wow.
Yeah. I was, because for me, it's about sister love and
Mhm.
how we don't love on each other enough. We don't
Right.
take time with each other. We don't greet each other. And for you to come from around that table and hugged me, you didn't just hug me, you embraced me. And then commenced to pointing out things. Girl, you had, from then on, you had my heart.
I just had a customer last week say to me, it was my first time meeting her. She came in Saturday and she came from out of town. Her first stop was here.
Mhm.
And I didn't have what she needed, but I was able to make it. And I met her up here the next day, the day that I was actually closed. But she said to me, "It feels like I just know you already."
Yeah.
And to me, it just goes to show that it's so much deeper than shirts.
Yeah.
And my customer service is important to me, but being able to talk to my customers and having an open line of communication with them is so much more important than the product that I push out, because the product is going to come as long as you know that the service is good, the product is going to follow behind. So that's my number one priority, is to make sure my customers feel like I'm their sister almost.
Yes. Well, girl, I mean, because you got that motherly, it's just mama all over you. I mean, because even for me, sometimes when you're not open or whatever, you have traveled all the way back to I on her off day.
Yeah,
Cause I'm like, well, I want it now.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you and you say, Okay, meet me over at ice and blah blah blah. I mean, you're just so authentic and genuine.
Thank
You
you.
know, tell us about your journey because you were overweight and then you decided to the she was already a playground of love. Now she done slimmed down and become a beach of love. Okay. What what
Um,
was that? What was that all about, Mama?
my highest weight was 240.
Mm.
It's funny you bring this up because I just had a friend say to me that one of our mutual friends said Keitha wasn't ever really that fat, so I don't know why she's doing all of this stuff, making it seem like she's losing weight. I said, no, you just wasn't around when I was 240 pounds. You know?
Right, right. And I remember you showed a picture of you on your Facebook page when you were at that weight.
Yes. I,
What
I saw
happened?
my my health. Like I was looking at my parents' health. Um, my dad had congestive heart failure, diabetes, high blood pressure, all of the things that he could have controlled had he
Mhm,
lived a healthier lifestyle.
mhm,
And I got to the point to where, no disrespect to my parents because that's what they knew, but I didn't want to grow up and live like them in the sense of health wise.
right.
But in the same sentence, their parents weren't saying get your health together. They were eating the pork chops, they were eating the chitlins and all of that because that's what they had. But
Right.
now that we have the option to live and eat better and healthier and all that kind of stuff, I just decided, I said, you know what? I'm going to start walking. I'm going to just start walking 2 miles every day.
Mhm,
I got to get some of this fat off of me.
mhm.
And then those walks just turned into my time with God.
Uh,
So I'm able to have conversations with God, and He's sending me signals as I'm asking, and He's talking, and we're just loving on each other, all out in the open. So it really went from me trying to lose weight to me connecting to myself
yeah.
and connecting to God and the universe and everything around me and showing my appreciation for it
Right.
and realizing that in the midst of all of this, I'm getting healthier. So
Yeah, 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 yeah. See, that's what makes you so enduring is because everything about you inspires. It just fills us up in the community. It ain't no fakeness uh when it comes to us loving on you. And every girl, you could start a war. Girl, don't let somebody be trying to do something to where's she at? What?
yes, yes. I had a lady recently take some of my Facebook. I make little Facebook quotes,
Mhm.
and they're mine. Like the stuff that I say is what I say. I'm never copying and pasting. It's
Right,
what's really on my heart.
right.
And at the time, I think it was like another killing had happened or
Yeah.
something like that. So I made a post that said, "Dear Black men, we love you, we need you," something similar to that. And then I made another one right after that that said, "Dear Black women," kind of close to the same thing. And the lady actually took my post, took out Black men, Black women, and put in "Dear ladies, dear gents." And to me, I was like, you could have easily shared that because my page is public.
Mhm.
So
Right.
don't take away from what I'm trying to
Mhm.
give to someone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 Okay, so the roots of love. We know that you use a root. What do they call the main root? What there's a name for the main root. I can't remember it. Because my family, they were sharecroppers and whatever. But my mom, they used to say the name of the main root there. And without that one main root, the others would never branch out from it.
the
They
tap,
have a
they call called the taproot?
That's it, girl. That's it. The tap.
I googled it.
Did you Google it? That's it. You are a taproot. Mhm. Now listen to what I'm saying. Mom, don't nobody try to take this from my mom. Mama, you a taproot. We need a shirt.
Taproot.
Taproot.
Mm.
We need a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about talking with you is, you know, being a creative, you make me want to be creative. You know, don't mean that I'm gonna go do it. But anyway, I know that if my mama do it, then it's done, and then I just get it from her. Because you know, and if you know, not many of us, because of your generosity and your fairness as an entrepreneur, we never ask you really how much is this, how much is that, because you usually, there's a thing that you usually do. You're in a box and you'll put $5.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, we did. You don't try to put them in there all nice and neat. You put it in there and you set it out there and you say $5. Girl, we be looking for that box.
This box got some stuff in here now.
And you know what? And when we get done with the interview, I'm coming over there today.
Okay.